This is the MMA Takes Podcast. With your host, Brian Petrie.
Beaten. I am a beaten man. I have always said I was going to do this. Hop right on, do a pick on, or do a recap show. Haven't actually done a recap show in a bit. I got my ass handed to me tonight. My picks went 4-7, 0-3 on the Annika Florian show picks as well. Down multiple units, right? Just a horrible night. Just a shitty night. Instead of going and, relax with my wife, have her rub my head, my back, whatever, cuddle time, I'm in here. Because I was going to come in here and do some research tomorrow, because tomorrow for the Annika Florian recording, and we got 6 fights for UFC 281, which we'll kind of go over at the end of the show, kind of recap. Fucking stat card. Mackenzie Dern stacked. But for this, I had to hop right on. I'm not running away from the losses. I'm not running away from this beating I took, okay? When I win, you hear about it. When I lose, it's just a bad night. My reads were not good. My slime ball, 20 seconds away from cashing. I guess that's where we'll start. Slime ball, Shailin Nurbeki beat Derek Minner in the first round. I know Minner blew his knee out. What you gonna do? Thought Shailin had control of that fight no matter where it went. Jake Haley looked great. Looked like a beast. Conlario, solid kid. Not that great. I thought Hadley was levels above him. Should have been a higher favorite. 2 good prices. Got a little cute and added Dawson Madsen over instead of just taking Batista, the low-hanging fruit. Mario Batista, who I liked a lot. The low-hanging fruit right there. Literally one of the only fights I got. I got 4 fights right on this whole fucking card. So Batista, low-hanging fruit, which I had him as my send him home. Should have put him in there, but I got a little cute. I went Madsen, Dawson over. Mark Madsen is an Olympic Greco-Roman, which is, upper body, takedowns. Had no answer for any kind of single double leg. I mean, has this guy trained wrestling ever? He's in Arizona. He's at Fight Ready. He's at a good camp, but where the wrestling at? I literally said, I don't think he's going to get put on his back for very long. Wrong. Wrong on that one. Wrong. He got put on his back, didn't know how to get up. Guy was lost out there, right? And he's been kicked in his leg. The Austin Hubbard fight, kicked in the leg. Every single fight he gets kicked in the leg. Heavy on that lead leg. Hurt him, Grant Dawson, with 1 punch in the first round. Dawson recovered, out-wrestled him, whatever. So at that point, I'm like, okay, you know what? Dawson, lay on top of him. Ride this out. Don't get a finish. First, second round, nothing really happened. A couple, back takes, nothing really significant. I thought same thing for round 3. Round 3 is kind of going the same way a little bit. And then Dawson starts kicking that leg again. And then Madsen's really reacting. And then down goes Madsen. Dawson on top, full mount. And then Madsen just, at that point, was just had enough, mentally quit. Dawson got the choke. Absolutely got it. We're 20 seconds away. I don't know the official time. When I looked at the clock, it was 2:57. So it was sometime around there. 7 seconds later, 5 seconds later, whatever it was, Dawson choked him out. So I picked Madsen on the Annika Florian, had the dog shot there. I only betted him in the slime ball parlay with the 2.5. So we're 20 seconds away from cashing a plus 205 slime ball ticket. That hurts. Hey, if you're not in the gambling space, you don't gamble, you don't sweat these out or whatever, you just pick fights and go, I got that one wrong. That's cool. But if you gamble, this hurts. This hurts, boys. Just absolutely brutal. Romano Pascal versus Vidal. We'll go back and we'll recap the full card. We'll kind of go through it a little quickly. I don't want to spend too long here. I want to talk about 281 and so podcast juice. I need it. I need it right now, babe. Pascual versus Vidal. Pascual got knee, quit. Not UFC quality. Vidal, I mean, she looked okay. She looked good. Undersized for sure. Short, a little thicker. But listen, got here late, made the weight cut, is a total pro. Say nothing bad to say about her. Jake Haley looked fantastic, stayed on his feet, looked really well. 2 southpaws battling out. His body punches were, I think the body shots were the difference here. He looked really calm, composed on his feet, obviously quick, obviously fast. Post-fight, he said a little, I got sick too. I fucking was dying too, but I made the weight. Candelario didn't make the weight. Either way, good performance, great triangle. Learned a lot from his last fight where he got put on his back. He was very active off his back his last time. It's just that Nascimento is very, very good on the ground. So at that point, it's time to get up as opposed to play a game. But he quickly snacks that triangle up, and then it was a while before he got it. But the fucking elbows just you cut him open. And then I believe it was like some kind of, no, it was a triangle. But the other fight, Benito, was like an armbar combination. Johnny Munoz was Ludwig. Ludwig might be like the worst IQ fighter in the UFC. I say that about a lot of guys. I feel like you got to go out there and make this an ugly fight. You're so slow and you're behind Johnny Munoz every step of the way. And you just ignored your corner till the 3rd round where you finally start looking for some takedowns. You were getting pieced up the entire time. You're marching forward, but marching forward and getting hit don't mean shit. That don't mean shit. I didn't bet that. I picked him as an underdog, though, but that's just a bad underdog pick. Munoz Jr. is obviously the right play there. Horrible. Junior Fry versus Paulian Viana. Paulian Viana, first off, I think I said this on the podcast, she's hot. I don't think I've ever really gave her a good look. Her face, she's gorgeous. She could do a lot other things besides fighting, but she's a badass fighter. Knocked Junior Fry out. On the opposite side of that one, I had Junior Fry grinding out a decision. That didn't happen. Did not bet this fight either, though. Kept it a relatively small card because I played big units, and I'm glad I did that, even though the big units hurt bigger as opposed to a bunch of small units. But what are you going to do? Pontiac Viana looked good. Mario Batista versus Benito Lopez. Lopez has been out for a while. He's got the gold and the black hair. That's all cool. Batista, I tweeted this out. Just flip that. I tweeted this out. He looked physically the best shape I've ever seen him. Cardio on point. His ground game on point. His stand-up is good too. My biggest knock on him has been his chin. He's been chinny a little bit before. He's only lost 2 in the UFC. This kid's come a long way. He's continuing to get better. After the Kelleher fight, I was a little sold on him. After this fight, even though Benito Lopez has been out for a while, he's not the most highly rated guy. But after what he was supposed to do. Mario Batista should have been a 500 favorite in this. He was minus 225. Had him send him home. I did not bet this fight. I should have bet Mario Batista by some kind of finish. I did not. Shame on me for being an idiot. Should have put him on a parlay too. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. That's the name of gambling, babe. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. And I fucked up on that one for sure. Huge misstep by your boy. But Mario Batista looked an absolute stud. Miranda Maverick just bullied Shannon Young. Shannon Young, props to Shannon Young, though. I'll say this. 5 fighters missed weight. All the Brazilians that came over late did not miss weight. 5 fighters missed weight for this one. Shannon Young was struggling. Cut her hair off to make the weight. That's a fighter. She was a huge underdog. She's already had a loss to Miranda, right? Not a good matchup for her, but she goes, you know what? I want this one back. It's a tough weight cut. She looked pretty big in there. I'm going to cut my hair. I'll deal with that shit later. I want this one back. Even if it was a bad matchup for her, even if she got dominated, I respect that because that's someone that could have been like, fuck it, I missed weight, I can't make it. We see that happen every once in a while. I don't feel good, I'm out of the fight. She wanted this fight, regardless of how it went. But Miranda Maverick, minus 600 favorite, obviously did the damn thing. So good for Miranda Maverick. Then we got Shalin Nurebecki, which we talked about earlier. Derek Minner blew his knee out, threw a kick. He got blocked. He stepped on it weird, and he kind of made a weird motion. And then he threw the same kick, the back leg kick. Again, same motion. I don't know what the thought process was. Was he like, fuck it, I'm just going to throw it again. Why not? And clear, easy read for Shailin, and then Shailin threw a big knee. He crumbled, and then TKO on the ground. Shailin Nurebecki looked huge in there, by the way. Thick old boy. And I just love that matchup with Nurebecki. So again, he was my slime forever. Jake Haley slime forever. And then the next fight, Mark Madsen versus Grant Alton over 2.5 was not my slime forever. 20 seconds. I'm shocked at Mark Madsen's non-defensive wrestling. We talk about this quite a bit, and this is kind of my own fault. Like TJ Dillashaw is a really good wrestler, but I even said when he fought Aljo, how good is his defensive wrestling? How good is his defensive grappling? Because you can offensive wrestle all fucking day long. But if you got a guy taking you down, taking your back in the grappling realm, and especially as good as Aljo, how good are you? Now, I know TJ had a bum arm, whatever, but that should have been my process here because Grant Dawson's very good on the ground. A lot of people thought that Grant Dawson and Mark Madsen would stand up a lot. I didn't think it was going to happen. I knew they were going to grapple because the ego plays. And even you heard Grant Dawson in the post fight say, I placed 6th in my state in high school. I'm not supposed to be a good wrestler, but I'm taking all these guys down. He called out Tim Ferguson. Seemed like a good guy. Some people called him cringe. I don't know why I'm not on his side. 19-1-1 overall. He missed weight. He was 45 up to 55. Seems like a fighter that, I should maybe get behind, but I just still see some limit ability in him. His stand-up is not great. He got put down by Madsen, but the story from here is how bad Madsen was. I mean, Madsen defensively on the ground was so bad that the commentators hit it perfectly. He wasn't using his legs to get up. His legs were just there in an open guard. No feet on hips, no basic anything. He didn't scramble to get up. I really thought that wasn't going to be an issue here. So Mark Madsen really bad night for him. And man, just really bad night for me. 20 seconds would have had a W. It wouldn't have mattered in the grand scheme of things because I had so much on Marina Rodriguez that I think I haven't sat down and done the math. Literally, fights are over. I walked into here to do this. I haven't done the math, but I don't think I would have broke even or anything like that. I didn't put a full unit on the slime ball. I put 3.5 units on Marina. So I think I would have been toast anyway, but it would have been nice to give the people winners. Even if I don't financially win off the slime ball by, with my other bets, if I'm down on the night, it's still nice to give out a winner. All right. We've been cold, brothers. We've been cold, but it'd be nice to give out a winner for the people. That didn't happen. That did not happen. Tagir Ulanbekov versus Nate Maness. Nate Maness looked brutal, trolling some people. I've seen this kid fight live, and I believe he was at 155, could have been 145 when he fought early on in his career. He's 5'10". He's not a small guy. So when he made 125 and the pictures all went all over Twitter, you saw the picture, that was shocking. Like, that's a guy, and he said, I feel great, and this fight didn't go long enough to know if the weight cut would have been an issue or not. He looked terrible, though, got his neck taken to gear. Obviously, one of these fucking days, I'm going to bet against a Russian, and I'm going to win. I am like 0 for 50 against these Russians, man. You guys are well-rounded. They're good. That high elbow guillotine that Tagir hit him with was beautiful. Nate's a tough, durable dude, good record. Not easy to get out of there. He fought the guillotine. He readjusted, and that was just curtain. So Tagir's a guy to keep an eye on for sure. I thought he's looked a little pedestrian, but beating a guy like Nate Maness. So that was my dog lock whiff. Sent him home I got, which was Batista. Mortal lock was Jake Hadley. So I'm 2-3 on my locks on the night. Didn't play any of them except Nate. Small little play on Nate to win. So I whiffed on that. Should have hit Batista up. Should have hit the mortal lock up straight. Next fight, I played D-Rod straight, and I played him by decision. Thought we were on our way there. Very close fight. I mean, if I'm being honest, I thought I had Neil winning the first, D-Rod winning the second. First was very close, and then D-Rod came out pretty heavy in that third, looking pretty good, hitting Neil with good straight shots, and then just couldn't get out of that fucking clinch, man. Could not get out of that clinch. Brutal stuff. I mean, Neil's really good in the clinch, and I said that. I just thought D-Rod could be a little bit more prepared for it. He's a thicker guy at 70. He's not as tall as Neil, but he's not a small 70, so I figured he can handle it a little well. He didn't. At the end sequence there, he got up after Neil kept using the same technique to take him down from the clinch. He got up, and then Neil slammed him down, and I just felt like his fucking soul left his body when he got slammed down. He's just like, fuck. Because he was tired for sure, and he wanted to keep the fight on the feet, and then Neil wrapped up that Darce. I felt like, I saw the Darce coming. Now, obviously, I'm a fucking couch quarterback here. I yelled Darce at the TV, right? Because at this point, I want a winner, even if it was just for a little bit of change, a little bit of scratch. And I think I had $35 on D-Rod, right? So I'm like, Darce. And Neil's got those long arms, so if he cinches it up, I mean, that's a wrap. Long arm guys with darces, and that's what Neal does. If Neal's not a finisher, but if he's going to get you, it's going to be in a darce. And he was in the on all fours with the front headlock position, and D-Rod should have done a couple things there differently, and it looked like he kind of just went into it. Neal rolled. It was over. Awful there. Awful right there. That was going to be my other slime ball play. So I know I shoulda, coulda, woulda had Batista, even though I don't think I ever would have got there, if I'm being honest with you. If I rewind it, I have it written down over 2.5 on that fight as well. When did that fight end? Would that have cashed? Because I plugged that in. I plugged that in to the thing in the 333 in round 1. I think it would have. Right. Would have? How did they do that? Yeah, I don't know. Fuck it. Doesn't matter. Who cares? Would have been a loser anyway, you loser. In the main event, got a little cocky on this one. I was on Remember the Show with Aaron Bronstetter. Go check that out. Last podcast I recorded before that. Very tough trivia questions. Came down to the last question. I whiffed on Dave Herman. I knew it was Pee-wee. I said the Sasquatch. And I whiffed on Vladimir Matyushenko, which I knew was the janitor, which Aaron got both those. Those are my big whiffs. But some of those questions Cody made were impossible. I lost, but I had a good showing. I didn't get blown out of the water. I would love to rematch Aaron with maybe a little more topical MMA questions as opposed to what month was the first Brazilian UFC show in. I mean, fuck me. I don't know. I can't tell you what month UFC 270 was in, right? There's too many to keep track of. Anyway, I went on Anna Florian, my own show, that show, 3 shows this week, and talked about Marina Rodriguez. And I said, quite frankly, I think this is a layup. I said, I like her at minus 210. I'd play her higher and went $350 on her, $350 in one of my highest plays ever. Highest play ever was 600 on Izzy against Jan Blachowicz. This is a significant play, 3.5 units. I'm not a big unit player. I'm more of a small chip away kind of guy. Big time unit play here and just lost. First round, I thought she looked good. I think it was very close at the end. You could have maybe said Marina won because of the way she got on top or whatever. But I just felt like on the stand-up, she was a little hesitant. I thought maybe, okay, you know what? She's been in 5-round fights before. She's going to want Lemos to kind of tire herself out because she's a heavy hitter, explosive, right? Come out second round, and she's doing more of nothing. And I'm like, okay, Marina, it's time to step it up here. And then she starts stepping it up just a little bit, just enough. But Lemos started catching her coming in. And those are big shots. So it freezed her again. So Lemos won round 2. Lemos has all the momentum coming in round 3. And Marina, again, kind of is a little passive, more than I thought she would be. I thought speed would kill here. And then Lemos lands a huge right hand, I believe. Stumbles Rodriguez. And she's one of the best finishers at that division. Just a fucking killer. Killed her on the cage. I know a lot of people are going to say it's an early stoppage. I mean, I think it was a touch early because I think it, but Marina, the way her body reacted, she got hit and then hit, and then she turned her head to the side and covered up. That's, anytime you turn any kind of your body when you're getting hit, it's not a good look. And the ref was there right on top of it. I don't think it would have changed anything. I'm not going to obviously be like, early stoppage, blah, blah, blah. I think Lemos was on fire tonight. I definitely underestimated Lemos. I'm still high on Rodriguez here, but man, what a performance by Lemos, man. You gotta give it to her. You gotta give her the next shot. I saw Andres in the crowd. Maybe they run that rematch back. That'd be a fun rematch. I don't know what you do. But obviously I think Marina maybe now take a step back as much as I want to see her fight Rose. Lemos, do you throw her in there for the winner of the title right now? Do you give her Andrade? Do you give her Rose? A lot of options for Lemos now. Unfortunately, I think Rodriguez had the world in her hands because of the record she had. And who she's beaten, she won, she gets title shot. She loses now. Who do you fight? You know what I mean? Like who you fighting? So absolute brutal beating. So down 3 units on that, down 0.35 units on D-Rod, down on the slime ball, just down. I had 4 bets. What was the other bet I did? Oh, I did Nate Maness as well. Down on Nate Maness. I went 0 for 4 on my bets. 4 and 7 on them, my picks. That is what you call a shit night in the business, boys. a shit night. But, yeah. No, there's no buts. There's no buts. That's a shit night in the business. But UFC 281 is this Saturday, a week from today. I'm doing the picks tomorrow, and Anakin Florian will probably be up Sunday night, Monday morning. I'll do my own pick'ems as well. Full card pick'ems. It's a good card. There's 14 fights as of right now. 14 fights. That means that's 14 potential winning bets that we can make up for 2 nights. So before I recap that, I actually got a lot of messages. When I say a lot, I mean 5, about the winning gloves and how they screwed me. So I got my money back, right? I disputed the charges, got my money back. Winning, I love your gloves. Your customer service is absolutely dog shit. So I needed new gloves. I needed gloves. I got these Everlast gloves down there. They're terrible. They don't fit my wide, fat fucking wrist. I'm a big fucking dude, you know what I mean? Those little boy gloves, right? So I need some new gloves. I'm trying to get back in shape. Yada. So I'm going to put 2 options on the screen. This is going to be a little bit boring for the people who come here to hear me fucking, go on about my recap. I'm a shit bag. I suck, right? I suck. I'm dog shit. Dead dog loser. But I've been all day, right? My wife worked. I was with the kids all day. All day I'm on my fucking phone like a deadbeat dad. Like I'm on Twitter. I'm not on Twitter. I'm not on Instagram. I'm looking up gloves or what type of gloves to get because I'm an obsessive, compulsive loser, right? So shout out 1v1. First off, not sponsored. I did not buy 1v1 gloves. I, however, want to get a pair of 1v gloves. Jason Neese, the guy who hand makes these in Florida, USA made gloves are incredible. I've never owned a pair, but I've seen a ton of reviews. I've exchanged emails with Jason. Problem is your boy's down multiple units tonight, and those gloves are quite expensive. Rightfully so. Handmade in America, genuine leather, handcrafted, customizationable, whatever. Customizable is the real word I was looking for there. Well worth the price tag. Your boy doesn't have it. He's going to Vegas, right? I don't want to spend the bank because I'm hitting fucking mitts and bags in my garage. I'm going to get one when I get enough shape to go to the gym. Anyway, shout out 1v1. You guys are awesome. Jason, thank you for all the emails. But I was going back and forth with gloves today. So Winning has foam gloves and their padding is unbelievable. So you're not going to find that in other gloves. And I've tried. So it's just going to be incomprehensible. You can't match that. But there is a glove, a Mexican style glove that uses horsehair. Some use only horsehair, some use foam. If you remember when Conor fought Floyd, there was in the contract, Conor couldn't wear Clito Reyes, famous Mexican glove that uses horsehair. And then Mayweather had the same problem with Marcus Maidana using the Everlast MX gloves, which I've actually tried on, and there's absolutely no fucking padding. They're called puncher gloves because they use horsehair. Well, there's companies out there now, 1v1 is one of them that makes it as well, horsehair and foam. So I want to try Mexican style gloves. I've never tried one before. So I looked at Reyes's, I looked at all these other ones. It's all customized. So I went no boxing, no life. Shout out Canelo Alvarez. Big fan of Canelo Alvarez. It's his brand. They used to never have a website. It was really weird and hard to get a hold of them. I tracked, they have a good website now, and they had a couple gloves in stock. So I'm going to put 2 on the screen right now. Okay. Number 1 is going to be a teal and silver pair that you're seeing right now. For whatever reason, I love teal. I don't really necessarily love the metallic look. I like just like a green seafoam tealish color, like the original Winnings. So here's the teal. And here is black in red metallic that they have as well, right? So these are my 2 options. These are both in stock. There's a couple options I like that weren't in stock, whatever. So these are 2 options. Hammer down below, pause this video, hammer down below which ones you would like, which ones you would pick, right? Because I just bought these today, right? Did you vote? Did you say which ones you picked? I ended up getting the red and black ones. I'm a red and black guy. That's kind of my theme. I love red and black. So that's what I ended up getting. So shout out No Boxing No Live. Never tried them before. I'll give a full review on this YouTube channel. You hear me? You'll see me fucking hitting the bag a little bit, whenever I get those in. All right, 281. It beckons this Saturday, a week from today. And we're going to fucking rebound. We are going to fucking rebound. Sunk it. Fucking the only thing I've done great all night. I can make that. All right, Izzy Adesanya versus Alex Pereira. Main event. We all love it. I love Izzy. Toughest fight. This guy beat him twice in kickboxing. I've done a ton of tape study since this fight got announced. I've rewatched both their kickboxing fights a lot of times. Very interesting. You're going to have to hear my breakdowns when I break it down on my podcast or tomorrow in Anakin Florian. That's a great fight. Carlos Esparza was Weili Jean or Jean Weili. Love this fight for Jean Weili. Carlos Esparza wanted some time off, didn't. Kind of threw a stinker there with the Rose fight. This won't be a stinker. Jean Weili is an action-packed fighter. She's good everywhere. I think she matches up really well with Carla here. Carla constantly dog money, constantly disrespected. Is the champion, two-time champion. So you can't disrespect her too much. Love that fight. Poirier versus Chandler. Speaking about Chandler uses 1v1 gloves. Big proponent of those. Shout out Mike Chandler. Won't you send me some? I'll pay half, right? They're expensive. Let me pay half. Love this fight. I have a really strong lean on this fight of who I like. I looked at the line today. I don't really look at lines too much until the fights get closer, but since I'm picking this tomorrow, looked at the lines today. I was a little surprised, but I have a strong lean in this fight. I love this fight. It's going to be absolute madness in there. Don't know if it gets out of the first round. I'd be shocked if it does. Both these dudes are fucking nails in there. They want to go after it. Frank Yeager versus Chris Gutierrez. Frank Yeager's last ride in Madison Square Garden. How can you not love this guy? I actually really dislike Frankie because of the BJ Penn fights, because I would love BJ Penn. But then Frankie's such a tough warrior dude. His Gray Manor fights are unbelievable. Great family man. Has never really fucked around. Seems like a great dad and is an absolute stud. So I've grown to love Frankie. Last fight here, I think they matched him up well with Chris Gutierrez. Gutierrez is killer on the feet. Frankie obviously going to need to wrestle in this fight. Good matchup. Dan Hooker versus Claudia Puelles. Woo, that's a good fight. People are sleeping on this fight. They're like, why is this the opening of the pay? This is going to be a wild fight here. Dan Hooker's on like an 18-fight losing streak. Feels like everyone's beating Dan Hooker. Back up to 55. Claudia Puelles is a guy really looking really good right now. His leg locks are brutal. His submissions are good. His stand-ups come a long way. Interesting fight here, right? Interesting fight here at 155. That's going to kick off the pay-per-view card. And I don't know who I'm picking on that. Renato Moicano versus Brad Quake Riddell. Riddell's a fucking stud. Moicano's a stud. Love Moicano moving up to 55. Dominic Reyes versus Ryan Superman Spann. I get it. You're trying to get Dominic Reyes wins. You're trying to get him a W here against Superman Spann. Spann can spoil the party here. Reyes, I know, has traveled and trained and has been other places, and hopefully he comes out good. Because, listen, he's everything's there for him. He just needs to put it together. You got fucking snot coming out everywhere. Aaron Blanchfield is Molly McCann. I love Aaron Blanchfield, and I love Molly McCann. Meatball McCann has been electric, personality through the roof. Don't know if this is the best matchup for her. Aaron Blanchfield hasn't been tested yet. Molly's going to test her because Molly has real power, real good boxing, has worked on her grappling extensively. That's an interesting fight right there. I can't wait to break that down, getting the meat and bones of that one. Andre Podolski versus Wellington Turman. Yeah, we can do with that one. Ottoman Azartar versus Matt Favola. Steamroller Favola. You have to say his last name like that, right? Favola. Steamroller Favola. Matt Favola is just, I feel like he hasn't fought in forever, but every time he fights, it's action-packed. Ottoman Azartar is the guy that got potatoes delivered in the bag. Some guy scaled a building in Abu Dhabi, delivering potatoes. What were those potatoes filled with there, Ottoman? He got cut, got brought back, whatever. Heavy hitter guy. I think he's one-dimensional. Interesting fight. I don't think we're picking that fight on the Anakin Forum. Maybe we are. I don't know. I think Favola might be on the show on the Right Longo Minute. So, steamroller Favola. Carolina Kovacevic versus Silva Gomez Juarez, whatever. Mike Trizano versus Soo Choi. Trizano laid an egg last time out, but he's a good fighter. Really hard to handicap. Soo Choi, same thing. He's either going to fucking put you out or he's going to just shit the bed. Jorge Arce versus Montel Jackson. I love Montel Jackson. This is how we do it. Montel Jordan. I'm old. Montel Jackson, though, if he fought a little more often, a little more consistent, people will be talking about him a lot more at 135. And then Carlos Ulberg versus Nikolai Nurmagomedov. Good fight for Ulberg here. I feel like he's getting some really good easy matchups here. He's on the Izzy card. Looks to be phenomenal shape. So UFC 281. Sheesh. All right. I want to keep it 30 minutes. We're at 30 minutes. Let's go. Follow me on all social media. Brian Petrie MMA on Twitters, on Instagram. That's another one. And then hit the subscribe button. Maybe we're 915. I just checked before I hop on here. 915 subscribers currently. we are, if my math is correct, 85 away from 1K. You want a shirt like this? Huh? How do you do that? You want a shirt like this? It comes in black? Fucking hit the subscribe button and I'll do a video. Let's go. Come on. Let's do it. All right. I'm going to go literally probably cry in my pillow because I got the shit kicked out of me tonight.